thank you to Semra as always, and thank you to you, Wes, for such fantastic insights throughout the day in the interview area. For now, we turn our attentions to Inter and FC Barcelona, match number 4 and our final match of match day number 3. It's, well, coming into this, top versus bottom. Inter, there's no way around it. They are in dire need of points.
Absolutely. Again, in terms of what they need points, they need victories, they need to get themselves in and around the conversation of at least finishing 6th. That's given the start they've had, that has to be the goal for them. Try and finish 6th. Because at this point in time, it's so far away, or it now feels like it's so far away, that these points, as we said, for them to get to 6th now, they would have to come out with 9 points against Barcelona, which is an incredible ask of what were the league leaders at the start of the day.
A very tough ask indeed, especially when you consider who they're starting out with. Alex Alguacil has looked very much at home during his homecoming to the Catalan outfit. Of course, had that 1-1 draw with Kills on match day 1, and then against his former club, 1-0 versus Mestre. We saw the celebration, the fingers in ears, reminding everyone it is not just Eterito's team, it's not the Palmer's team, it's our team. We are all here to play. So for Merriman, it's going to be a very difficult game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, we talk about, in terms of, if we look at Merriman's previous performances, 3-1 loss to Cecinha on match day 1. Came out of that incredibly close game. Roxa on the other side of it, 4-3 loss. Needs to find a point to start with. That is kind of paramount here to get some confidence there. The interesting pick for me, though, and as for those eagle-eyed viewers at home will be looking, and as Jose alluded to in his interview, a little bit of a change-up here where we've got Al Matador in, and it was somebody who we didn't even really suspect was part of the Inter setup until last match day, when came through the door and I saw Merriman, and then there was this almost German Goliath like coming up behind him in Mike Linden, that you kind of don't even realise that he was part of the setup. Now he's part of the setup, now he's playing, and now he's part of the last match day, or the last match of the day against Barcelona. It's an incredible kind of story, but more importantly, we have to see how it's going to all pan out for him, and more so for his team entirely.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Of course, Merriman headlining the affair here for FC Inter. 4 goals for him so far. Entered the matchday joint 5th in the goal-scoring charts, which is crazy when you think about where Inter find themselves in the standings. Of course, no big thank you to that loss from Roxa, which was 4-3, 7-goal thriller on match day number 2. So that obviously contributing towards his goals, but we know he's got goals in him, and when you consider how powerful a player such as Roxa is, we've spoken about it so often, he really is becoming a headline player for Arsenal this season. You just suspect if you know, there's a transitive property here, whether or not Merriman versus Alex could be a little bit of a firecracker here, because Merriman's got goals, Alex likes to rise to the occasion. Could be a really good game 1.
Well, that's the thing. We're now starting to see the better of both of those players. Alex, again, in match day 2 against former teammates, rose to the occasion. Merriman, as we said, was unlucky to not come out with at least a point against Roxa. So you've seen goals, you're seeing performances, and let's try and see whether these styles will actually make for a compelling showpiece to the end of match day 3, as this is, of course, our last matchup of the day.
Last one of the day. Thank you so much for joining us throughout today. We've seen goals galore. No doubt between these 2 European giants. We will see even more. It's an absolute banger to start the day, or end the day, I should say. To start the day, we already had a banger.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, we both have a kind of the bookend at the start and at the finish of the day in terms of games that we've seen. And over the course of the action that we've seen across the day, I'd venture to say there's not been a, in inverted commas, boring game of eFootball that we have seen today.
Definitely not. We're moments away from kick-off, and we can see exactly each club's lineups. Just checking each other out, making sure they know exactly what to expect. Some final tweaks before kick-off here.
It's not the first player I've seen employ this type of tactic either from El Massive. Having his controller in his hands on stage whilst he's waiting to play, it's almost like it's like an added comfort of going, okay, well, the controller's in my hands, like I'm okay, like I know what I'm here for. It's almost a bit of a comfort for some players to be up there and have that level of, you know, oh well, it's almost like I'm at home.
Just to settle himself down, perhaps. We saw it from Mujahid, of course, Bayern in the last match we saw, while he was waiting for his turn to take centre stage. Just making sure that muscle memory's still there. You still remember what it feels like to hold a controller, just mentally knowing that, yeah, I still know how to do this. And we'll be looking forward to seeing his debut this season, El Matador. But for now, as you can see, the players loading in. This could be a make or break match day for Inter Milan as they take on FC Barcelona. Merriman versus Alex Alguacil. And Alex is doing some last-minute changes.
They're already tweaking it, just ever so slightly.
Had us all fooled. I was ramping up, ready to say we're about to kick off, and I wonder if that is maybe a little bit mental in terms of mind games from Alex on the Barca side.
Could very easily be. With the players that we see here, I would not be surprised if there was an element of psychology that goes into the way that these guys are playing, and especially the way that these guys are setting up. I would not be surprised at all. I've seen very many things over the years of eFootball Championship Pro in terms of gamesmanship. That would certainly be something well up there, pressing pause immediately after the game's due to start.
Even Merriman's confused because he's double-checking his opponent's tactics here just to make sure nothing slipped through the cracks. But finally we are underway here. Match number 4, and well, Martinez in here to try and start things off so early for FC Inter. A statement of intent there from Merriman.
It was one ball that just split the defence completely open there. It was only for the hands of ter Stegen. Is that kept out?
Well, we'll be hoping in the commentary booth he is starting as he means to go on here. Alex with defending to do here for Barca. Mkhitaryan. But definitely some contrasting trajectories for these two clubs so far this season. Of course, FC Inter's first campaign in the eFootball Championship Pro has gotten off to what can only be described as a rocky start. No points from the first match day in the Milanese derby. And have struggled to pick up points since, really. So important that they start to get the ball rolling. For now, though, Lewandowski still giving this one chase, but Gagliardini is going to clear that one. On the Barca side, though, they've been towards the tippy top of the table, and well, Pedri with the double touch inside is taken a wicked deflection. But Alex will not mind. Pedri for Barca opens our scoring. It took a big deflection, though.
It was well worked. In terms of the double touches, they were at the right time. In terms of the ability to find passes, it was at the right time. And again, you'll see brilliant ball in there. And again, it does take a deflection, but is that heading in? Like, if dubious goals panel exists within eFootball Championship Pro, like, that looks like it's going in, surely?
I wonder if it's even taken a deflection here. I saw the animation.
No, it did. Took a big ricochet, but I don't think the keeper gets to that either. It's a brave shout from me, of course, but unfortunately we don't have Hawkeye here. But it certainly looked like that was already heading in. And I'd imagine that's why the goal's been credited to Pedri.
Perfect start for Barcelona. Goal number 3 from Alex Alguacil. Makes it 1-0 here in game 1. And what could be an uphill struggle here for Inter. Good build-up play here from Merriman, but snuffed out by Alex. Pedri to the feet of Lewandowski. Back heel looking for Frankie de Jong, and he's giving chase to this. He's taking the sting off the clearance as well. Pedri tries something fancy. Now Mkhitaryan. A difficult player to beat there, and Alex's defence has been pretty solid over the last 2 match days. Only conceding 1 thus far this season. That one in his 1-1 draw against Manchester United on match day number 1. Çalhanoğlu. Lautaro Martinez through 1-on-1. Ter Stegen with a save again.
Big manual save there from Alex. Did really well there. Pull that save off, and for all of the gameplay that we've seen so far in the first 25 in-game minutes, it's the first real chance we've seen outside of that kind of kick-off opportunity that was there from Inter. They'll look to do more of that.
Both of them fall into Lautaro Martinez. Talk about spearheads and focal points of attacks. No doubt he'll be one for Inter, and they'll need to utilise him if they want to turn their fortunes around. Correa and Sergi Roberto tussling on that far side. Won't come out in Inter's favour though. Will be very impressive to me. Of course, a lot of eFootball to be played, but if Alex is able to steady his players here and see this one through as things stand, it will be so impressive, because despite Inter's position in the table, Merriman has scored 4 goals already this season. So he's got goals in him.
Yeah, he's not shy of scoring opportunities that are presented to him. It's just got to find the right one.
Could be this one. Martinez is denied. 5 minutes to go till half-time. This first half has flown past us. Ter Stegen, the grateful recipients of that, and of course the happier going into the half is going to be Alex Alguacil, but Merriman, his mindset has to be belief that he can get back into this game in the second half.
Well, he's not been without goals in the first 2 match days, so again, a little bit of confidence is just needed from that really, to take it from there. But defensively, he's got to sharpen up here.
Bit of a mistake as well as de Jong arrives and blasts it into row Z. That's tough to see. 2-0 at the break, and you're thinking Barca should be smooth sailing for Alex, but wastes the opportunity, and how costly could that be?
It was just a bit wild. I don't think he anticipated de Jong to go with a volley. I think he would have much preferred him to go with a header. Instead, as a result, he hasn't gone all the way through. But speaking of that, very close indeed, but the offside flag has gone up. You can see there the statement of intent from Alex. Wants to get this one really put to bed and get that first 3 points on the board. Barcelona in match day number 3.
So second half is underway. The sides have swapped. Always interesting to hear from you all at home. Keep interacting with us in the chat. We want to know what you think, of course. For now, Kessie trying to give chase to that, but that one will roll out and Inter will have position. Mkhitaryan. Dzeko wins the aerial battle and he's going to get the ball back here as well, and there is your equaliser. We said he was full of goals. There might not be one more important than that in the course of inter-season. Merriman scores the equaliser with that man, Edin Dzeko.
It's that cross-field ball again, but it's a neat knockdown from Dzeko, who carries on his run, waits for the pass to get back to him. It's a brilliant finish from Merriman. An equaliser on the board for Inter Milan. We said he wasn't shy of goals, and thankfully our commentator's curse has been proven incorrect.
We could
correct.
Have looked very...
It's now 1-1, and now we are seeing goals on both sides.
Yeah, we could have looked very silly if this one ended up without the Merriman goal. He's proved us right, and he's got bodies forward here as well. Çalhanoğlu almost able to recover that one, and all of a sudden the tide seems to have turned a bit here. Merriman's got the wind in his sails as Dzeko's making a darting run, but went slightly too early. The ball ends up in the back of the net, but not before the linesman flag is up. That's very tight.
It's very tight. Very, very tight indeed.
That's a lovely ball. Lewandowski was just waiting, watching it hang in the air. It's low towards De Jong. Do you just get the sense that there's a danger of Alex wilting away in this game after scoring in the first half? He seemed to be in a pretty decent position, but since Merriman has decided to prove himself on this stage,
it's that half-time break that's really caused that switch in, as you said. It looks like it's more so it's gone towards Merriman, but again, Alex is always going to be dangerous, as is Merriman at this point. So again, it's, as we said, when you're on top or you have the ascendancy in a game, you have to press home the advantage.
Lewandowski back heel to Dembele, and he wrestles through with the ball as well. Back in front is Alex Alguacil. It's a difficult one to concede for Merriman, who worked so hard to get back into the game, but Barca will not mind whatsoever. They all count the same. Alex back in front now.
It's just that tussle there. It's one bad touch, but it's, again, it's super cancelling your player, so you have the freedom of what you can do with that player. As a result, he's managed to wrestle that ball back as Alex Alguacil, with Ousmane Dembele. Managed to wrestle it away, gets the ball back, gets it onto his left foot, finds the bottom corner.
It's a very tidy
and
finish.
Even he looks a little bit, I can't even say the word annoyed, but it's a bit like, oh, I didn't really want to score that. I want to try and do something better than that. But again, he won't mind a jot here, because they have a 2-1 lead. 65 minutes on the clock.
All the hard work from Merriman undone in that one moment. Goal number 4 of the season for the man in his second spell now at FC Barcelona. Frankie de Jong now, near side, waiting for a bit of backup. 20 in-game minutes to go. It's another Barca corner. It's time for changes, time for those super subs. What difference can they make?
Putting them in the right field, right part of the field is realistically where you'd be looking at substitutions here. But again, if you're chasing the game, you're looking to change your forwards and give them fresh legs. If you're defending the lead, you might be looking at defenders.
So now the resulting corner, subs are on, changes have been made. Barca have looked dangerous from these corners so far. They win the header as well, but it's over the bar. Another corner, I believe. Not sure about that one, if the referee has given that, but this result, if it stays the same, would see FC Barcelona up into second in the table, still with 2 more games to play. Here it is, another corner. To Lewandowski this time. De Jong to Dembele. Danovic was there, saw it all the way, but a really good chance for Barcelona to potentially put this one out of reach. And they come forward again. Skriniar clears. But now your sense is getting a little bit more difficult for Merriman to get back into the game here. He's got to throw in. Dzeko wins the knockdown. He's there or thereabouts once more. Always interesting to hear what our fans at home think. I'm assuming they mean pace, not peace. Unless they mean peace of mind, in which case...
I mean, both are applicable in that scenario in terms of abilities required for a forward. Both are very much applicable.
Dembele with the dummy. Still going here at the byline. He's bought himself a corner. Oh no, he hasn't. Ricochet back off him.
It's not the first time you've disagreed with the refereeing decision, so it won't be the last.
Pedri versus Skriniar has another defender to deal with here as well. That De Jong touch is very, very bad, and Alex knows that tackle. Not the prettiest either. Into the book he goes. Shouldn't make too much of a tangible difference. So late on in the game. Here comes Merriman though, Dzeko. Barrea, Mkhitaryan, still there! 2-2! The resilience from Merriman. An 86th minute equaliser. And the points may well be shared here.
There's only a finite amount of chances that will be left in this game. And that may be the most valuable one of the lot. It was a great manual save from Alex to get, or to keep it out the first time, but the save kind of almost teed up, almost like a volleyball, straight back into his path, and Mkhitaryan manages to turn it in.
Well, sometimes that rebound goes wayward, but Mkhitaryan, right place, right time. Ter Stegen just could not really get back up to his feet to make a difference there.
He was smart enough to not put it back into the opposite corner, because that's where Ter Stegen had covered. Instead, he put it back to near post.
Is that a yawn from Arda Galasso?
It's been a long day for these guys, don't forget. If they would have been here from what? Probably 10, 11 a.m. this morning local time. We're now, nudging potentially around about 5:30, 6:30. It's been a long day for them, and of course, if they've been practicing all the way through the day, it's a lot of screen time on your body.
And it is Dembele now as Alex tries to reinstate his lead. Sorry, Arda, didn't mean to call you out like that. Goal number 6 on the season. Has some defending to do here, though. Handanovic should be able to hold on to that one now. 6 is the number. Held up by the referee's assistant. That's a minimum of 6 as well, so still plenty of attacks to come here. Potential for either side to nick all 3 points. Mkhitaryan. Correa. Merriman trying his hardest to try and force the issue. Alex no doubt will want to do the same, and well, Kessie, Dembele, De Jong all combining. Pedri is here. Is this the winner? Turns, still has a chance. Oh, Dembele's still there, and it does go in. Oh, what is no doubt the last kick of the game. Heartbreak for Inter Milan. Jubilation for Barca.
It's deja vu all over again for Merriman. Back-to-back match days, back-to-back game winners in injury time, last kicks of the game.
Wow, there were so many second chance, third chance opportunities in there. It's what happens when you roll the dice and you throw caution to the wind, knowing it's the final attack, so why not keep getting bodies in there, create that little bit of chaos, and we'll see what it means to Alex. Practically on the virtual pitch with the players there, he was so close to his screen.
I think I saw his chair shaking before the goal had gone in.
There's the referee's final whistle. 3 points to Barcelona. 3 points to Alex Alguacil, who has been phenomenal thus far this season. But Merriman, my heart bleeds for the man.
Happened again.
Back-to-back match days. That's tough to digest.
It's a tough pill to swallow if you're into Milan. It's a tough pill. It really is. I mean, full credit to both players there for giving us a spectacle to go off of there, because we did say, what are they going to bring to this last match day, or last game of the match day? And they brought goals.
That they did. Seemed like a lifetime ago, that Pedri opener that was deflected went in to start off our scoring. Plenty of goals so far today, by the way. We'll be hoping that continues. Most important thing is that Merriman proved time and time again that he's able to bring himself, score goals, get back into the match. And in the end, as we see the goals continue to tick through, it really is the finest of margins, because each team had an attack in that stoppage time.
Yep.
There was a chance for both clubs to seize all 3 points. It's unfortunate for Inter and Merriman that in the end it's their adversaries who did so.
Did so well to get back into the game, did so well to get himself to 2-2. And then it was just, history just repeated itself. As we'll see here again, like Pedri, we saw the chance, we thought the chance has gone. It's a great block off the line by De Vrij. Dembele's there to profit, and again gets the finest of deflections to steer it back goalwards.
Oh, it's tough. It is tough. You said you saw
see what
the
it
chair
means there.
Alex, so passionate. Was such a hard-fought match that, well, it sees Barcelona secure the first 3 points of this contest. No time to lick your wounds, though. as we see a debut this season for viewers who have seen this competition in previous iterations. You'll be familiar with this man. It's El Matador stepping up to the plate now for Inter. Well, what an introduction to the competition you have this season as you go up against multiple-time world champion in Eterito. Undefeated, by the way.
Some would call baptism of fire is what you've really got. Welcome back to eFootball Championship Pro. Here you go against Eterito, who's won both of his first 2 games and has looked imperious in doing so. Yeah, really good kind of welcome back present from Inter Milan to El Matador. But as we have spoken so highly of players, you know, as we'll have seen through previous iterations of this tournament, El Matador has got it in the locker. He has got those games in the locker where he is able to put his best foot forward and he's able to put pressure on players.
Oh, he's kicking off here from left to right. Çalhanoğlu starting things off as game 2 now underway. It will be El Matador, his debut this season, stepping in for FC Inter. Going up against Eterito, as you mentioned, match day 1, a 4-1 win against Lotfi of Manchester United. El Matador's corner is cleared. Match day 2, very much the same, a 1-0 win. Closely contested battle that was against Shea Victor, of course, who was stepping in for Bayern. Eterito, though, probably licking his lips at the fact he gets to play what are essentially stand-ins in back-to-back weeks. Good early spell, though, for El Matador. What magic can be conjured up from this free kick? Çalhanoğlu will go straight to goal from distance. It will go back to him here, and Martinez. First real opportunity that Inter have threatened the goal with thus far. Pedri now for Eterito. De Jong, double touch to create a bit of space, and Pedri, his run was in vain in the end. Dembele there clatters against the defence. What's the mindset here for El Matador? He started the opening 15 really well. Surely it's a case of nothing to lose, everything to prove.
Yeah, I think it's a case of you get a base to build from. And again, 15 in-game minutes gone. Hasn't really had too many tests in terms of Eterito coming back the other way at him. But as we said, when you're up in those games, or when those games are 0-0, it's the best possible time to put your foot forward and get on top of the game. But I think the objective, as you said, it is a little bit of a free hit for him.
Nice reverse ball there to Kessie and Pedri to Lewandowski. And there's the Eterito we know and love. Lewandowski, the weapon of choice this time. 1-0 to Barca. Ettore in control.
Yeah, and he could have took the shot with Pedri. Could have. You'll see it break open here. Just this touch here. Has the opportunity to take the shot, instead finds that extra pass, finds a brilliant through ball into Lewandowski, who's slipping as he takes the strike. We have seen a fair few strikers try that before and it not really work out the way that they want it to, and instead that one finds the back of the net, and it's Lewandowski that gives Eterito the lead.
One 1-0 to Barcelona then here in game 2. It was a whipped in venomous ball for Inter. That goal, by the way, as things stand, would put Barcelona up on level points with Arsenal at the top of the table. Arsenal would be on top on goal difference. That will change in just one goal. Pedri, this is lovely from Etorito. Lewandowski on the overlap, he goes for goal himself. Dembele still here, keeps it alive. 4 white shirts in the box to aim for, by the way. Pedri, De Jong, just one too many. Etorito cooking now. Dembele fouled just outside the area. What do you do here? You go for under the wall. Saw it once today already.
It's not quite the right angle for it at that point. I think Handanovic was too wise to it.
Inter on the offensive now as Çalhanoğlu up against Sergi Roberto. Cross comes in, but can't beat the first man. And what a crossfield switch that is to Pedri. One-on-one, essentially. Oh, off the inside of the post and out.
Brilliant free-flowing counter-attack there. Just couldn't find the right finish though. On another day, it hits the post and rolls into the net. Big opportunity there.
Frankie de Jong. Only 5 minutes till half-time, and the way this is going, Etorito is going to want a second before that comes. Kessie to De Jong. Defenders essentially standing off him here, allowing him to move inside. Look at the pressure and the press from Etorito once he loses possession. Busquets. De Jong. Pedri. Lewandowski back to him now.
Il quarto uomo indica 2 minuti di recupero.
2 minutes added on, and well, there are Inter players forward in this attack, but instead, to end the half, it will come the other way. Pedri looking for De Jong. And that will spell, no doubt, the end of the first half of play here in Game 2. Etorito 1, El Matador 0.
Yeah, I think it's a solid start from Barcelona across this entire tie. To be in the ascendancy here, you would say it's a more than fair result so far, because it's been all the Torre. There's been chances here and there maybe for Inter to develop something, but outside of an errant cross or outside of a kind of a crossfield switch, it hasn't really developed into too much danger. Whereas with Barcelona and with Etorito, it seems to be that chances, when they come, they are quick and they are direct. And they are dangerous at all times.
Well, a worrying stat for those fans of FC Inter. Prior to this match day, Barcelona had conceded just 2 goals. They conceded 4 now. Obviously, thanks to that Game 1 double from Merriman. Was not enough to secure the points, though. So if you're looking at one of the most defensively solid outfits in the league, you're looking at them right here, FC Barcelona.
That goes alongside some of the players at their disposal: Araujo, Christensen, Koundé, Ter Stegen in goal. Like it's quite a difficult team to come up against.
Plenty of white shirts. It's a 3-on-3 momentarily at the back. Pedri receives the ball again. Beats the first man. Dembele, so much space. Kessie!
Brilliant save.
A much needed one too.
See it here again, just waits for the opportunity to open up. And again, manual goalkeeping, got across the court to cover that corner.
We're always wondering when Pedri gets the ball whether or not that double touch is coming. Here he is on the corner. potentially an inter-break. Mkhitaryan, Çalhanoğlu, crossfield switch looking for Skriniar, but importantly cut out. Now from defence into attack, there's an imbalance on this side of the pitch now. Pedri looking for De Jong. Nice idea, but execution lacking on that aspect. Speak of the devil. And for all Etorito's hard work, it is only just the 1-0. El Matador knows he's still in this game. He's done this plenty of times in this competition before. International duty for Germany as well. He's a seasoned veteran. He'll be able to keep his head here. Kessie, Dembele, De Jong looking for Pedri! How has that not gone in? One way or the other. Still alive here for Etorito. Dembele, that's a lovely ball! And there is the goal.
If there was any doubt on that header, there wasn't any doubt on that play. Brilliant ball. Again, we talk about, as we said, presence of mind, confidence and the composure. He could have easily have lost everything in terms of personality or in terms of his mindset when that chance goes back in with Pedri. Instead, recycles the ball, gets it back into Lewandowski, finds Dembele with the out ball. As you'll see here, just a neat little ball, finds it around the back. Dembele, again, opens up his body. He's able to put it into the bottom corner. 2-0. Etorito, well worth the value at this point in time.
An outburst of emotion as well. This could have been such a banana peel when you consider El Matador. It's only his first game of the season, and straight away we rejoin the action with Dzeko poking it home. Everyone was still celebrating.
Well, we'll wait for the replay and see what happens, because by the time we came back, we just see Dzeko's boot flying out and there's a goal. Watch this one back. Goes to that deep cross again. It's a brilliant ball.
Excellent ball.
That is, you know, any striker on planet Earth is crying out for that as a ball. It's a fantastic ball into the box. Again, it's Dzeko at the back post, extends a leg, puts it into the back of the net.
Oh, Etorito straight back to where he was moments ago. A first goal of the season for the man making his Inter debut here today. Çalhanoğlu looking for that deep cross again. Çalhanoğlu pipped to the post that time. Now there's Barcelona runners here. Pedri, can he take this in stride? Lewandowski wins himself a bit of a cheap corner there. Stunning strike against the defender. Oh, I wonder if it's about that time, whether or not substitutions might just be the difference come the end of this game number 2.
I certainly think now would be the time. If it's going to be now or never, from an Inter perspective, it is now or never. 20 minutes left. You've got players on the bench that can do damage. Bring them on. Kind of put all your, roll all your dice on the table and see where it all lands.
We heard from Merriman there saying he's going for Kessie, so watch out as De Jong pokes home the third. There is number 3. The 2-goal cushion reinstated, thanks to Frankie de Jong. It's now 3-1.
There's a right smile there, because that's not where he intended that ball to go. As you'll see, the challenge in the air for both players, it was gone all the way over Lewandowski, and it's fallen very nicely to de Jong in a little bit of space. No defenders in front of him, manages to find the corner. There's no goal this time, Harry. We're all good. We've got through the replays.
Well, that's goal number 8 for Eterito. 2 behind the leading goal scorer thus far. And for those keeping track, I said Barcelona would need to win by 2. Arsenal actually have scored more goals, so they have the same goal difference, same points at the moment. Arsenal topping the league on goals scored. Of course, we still have one more game to come following this, and that's, of course, barring an El Matador comeback.
14 in-game minutes left. Got a feel that this game's going to slowly go away from El Matador, and it might just go away even more as Petri tries to find a way forward. But at the moment, that clock keeps ticking down, but you still need the opportunities. It's not necessarily time, but you need the opportunities to score. You've got the ball up the wrong end of the field. It's not going to help you one bit.
Into the final 10 then of game 2. Our penultimate game of match day number 3. If there's going to be a comeback, we need to see a goal very, very soon from El Matador. He's given a really good account of himself here, going up against Eterito, one of the world's best players. Definitely in the greatest of all time conversation as quite a hot topic. But it is not the dream debut, it seems, for El Matador. Offside against Barcelona, and at this point just a bit of a formality. We're just waiting to see if there is maybe an extra goal to come from either side. We knew it would be a tall order for Inter, going up against the team entering today's match day at the top of the table. So far it's looking like 0 points from a possible 6, and well, there's the 4th. The cherry on top of the cake from Eterito. Barcelona 4, Inter 1. And what can you say about that man? He just knows how to score goals.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a masterclass from him. Brilliant ball in. Again, bounces just before it gets to Lewandowski, gives him enough time to be able to get onto the ball. But it is a delicious ball in. And the Torre, as we said, Eterito has been well worth the value in terms of what he's bringing to Barcelona as a team, but certainly as an individual, he's bringing that much more.
And it's also a goal that sees Barcelona top of the table as things stand, thanks to a +9 goal difference versus Arsenal's +8. Number 9 of the season from Eterito. He wanted more, but the referee will put an end to that. 6 points out of 6 so far. The Catalan club are looking on red-hot form here, and there's still one more game to go.
Yeah, again, it was a brilliant performance there from Eterito. It's exactly what was called for. After such a tight affair with Alex in game 1, they needed something to settle in game 2, and they certainly got that in terms of the performance we saw And it was, again, it approached one-way traffic. Again, we saw the Dzeko goal, but again, it was all about that man. It was all about Dembele. It was all about Etorito. It was all about Barcelona. And in truth, we ran away with it.
Yeah, we saw the second there on the 63rd minute, and then it was an immediate reply to the point where we didn't really get to enjoy it in real time because everyone was still celebrating the 2-0 advantage that Etorito created himself. It was a really nice cross. Immediately subsequent, the 2-0 advantage, but from that, Frenkie de Jong was able to reinstate that advantage and never really looked back. Took the wind out of the sails from El Matador, who had a very good showing in the first half of that game. But in the end, it's not an easy thing to beat Etorito. He proved that with the 4th from Lewandowski, which sees them top the table as things stand. There is still a permutation that Arsenal could finish the match day on top. We would have to see this man, Arda Golazo, win this game.
And as it stands, he's the only Inter Milan player who has registered points up until now. He's the only person that's got any points on the board. And then we look across the table, and then we look at the Palma, who, yes, okay, has points on the board, not scored a goal.
2 0-0 draws the Palma has played out thus far. That will be a bit of a cloud over him, no doubt. A man who made eFootball Championship Pro history a couple of seasons ago by winning back-to-back matchday MVPs. He's had a very slow start thus far. As you said, no goals, 2 0-0 draws. The silver lining is that he's picking up points along the way throughout those draws, but not the Palma we're used to seeing. He's usually sharp-shooting and free-flowing.
Yeah, well, I said it on match day too. There's games and there's match days where you'll see him turn up and it'll be a little bit stop-start. And then there'll be some games where you'll see him turn up and he will bulldoze his opposition. It's just what version of him turns up. Of course, for a complete, brilliant match day 3, Barcelona will be looking for him to win here.
Oh, an early start here from Arda in the ascendancy. I'd like to start quickly from the kickoff, Inter. But you join us now. We have kicked off the final game of today's match day. Of course, there's more action to come in 2 weeks' time as we will see match day 4. But for now, it is one final match between the Palma and Arda Golazo. Dembele almost able to feed his striker there as Palma definitely looking to push that pace, break his duck, as we saw with Oshobich earlier today. These calibre of players are not what we expect to see down there so low in the goal-scoring charts and accruing so little points as well along the way.
They'll not be happy with that either. From a personal standpoint, they certainly won't be happy with it.
Ansu Fati. Back to De Jong. Look at Dembele's space. That was an important clearance. As for Arda, he's tasked with trying to bring some points away from what has been a bit of a dismal match day 3 so far for Inter. We know he's got it in him. The question is, can he overpower the Palma here? As I look at your goal-scoring charts, the top 3 star-studded. Dzeko has possession here for Arda! And that piles so much pressure on the Palma now. Dzeko opens the scoring, 20 minutes gone. It's Inter 1, Barcelona 0.
It's just wrestling the ball back. It's wrestling it back and it's fighting your opponent for it. As we'll see here, breaks down in Barcelona's penalty box, as we'll see it here. But again, it's super cancelling off that challenge. It's basically freeing up your player to move in the way that you want him to. If you can pop a player in front, they'll be able to take the ball away. And as such, they find themselves with a great opportunity. A little bit of manual goal given from the Palma, but couldn't be stopped there, Marta Golasso. And again, speaking to him, I was talking about player selection. I was like, well, why don't you go with Lukaku? Well, why don't you look at Lukaku? He's like, no, Dzeko can do everything. He can pass, he can shoot, he can head, he's physical, he can do everything. So I was like, okay, well, let's see whether that rings true. And it certainly has with the opening goal here.
Well, that will be a goal that I think Arsenal fans would have enjoyed, as that will see them retake the lead of the competition thus far. Dembele looking to make amends for that. His third of the season. Marta Golasso, I believe our youngest player this season as well. I mentioned that cloud above the Palmer's head entering this match day. That's going to be growing and growing. Lovely interplay here from Marta Golasso. Calhanoglu and Correa tried to combine. Half an hour gone. This could just run away from the Palmer if he's not too careful. Lewandowski trying to bully his way through. In which way is the referee going to see this, I wonder? Looks to be in Inter's favour. Could be just the medicine that Inter need if the result stays this way, Wes.
Absolutely, I think they need much in the same vein that we have seen across the board today. Brilliant piece of skill there. Unfortunately, did not pull off. But you need something to take away from the match day. You need something to go, okay, well, actually, we can build on this. And at the moment, Arda is appearing to be kind of that ray of light for Inter Milan currently.
Ball is kicked into touch there. Ter Stegen with the unforced error. To the feet of Dzeko. Half-time is approaching, and always a dangerous time to concede if you're either side. Lovely around the corner from Dzeko. Ter Stegen needed to be alert. No one challenging Brozovic here. Double touch twice. Inside from Correa!
What a goal that would have been.
Groans from everyone. Merriman with his hands on his head thought that one was going to ripple the net.
Yeah, it looked like it was just going to nestle in that bottom corner. It's just a little bit too wide, but brilliant footwork and gameplay there from Arda. Just couldn't find that killer instinct, that killer touch to make it 2-0.
Just 1 minute added on. Arda will fancy another attack here as Martinez has a chance to feed Dzeko. He's still hanging around for some scraps, but that will signal the end of our first half. Inter 1, Barça 0. Arda Golasso. He's in prime position here, he's in the driver's seat.
He's certainly showing his more experienced counterparts the way forward here with this team.
No mucking about, we're into the final half of game number 3, also our final game of the day. Pedri for Barça. The Palmer has been fairly quiet thus far. What can he conjure up? almost able to benefit with Lewandowski, but has been fairly quiet thus far this game. Good work in the midfield as well by Arda Galazzo. Into the feet of Dembele. Just every time the Palmer tries to pass it back, get a breath. Arda is there. Will come to Martinez here. Dispossessed by Pedri. Very scrappy here. Frankie de Jong with Pedri on the overlap. Dembele, Lewandowski, Fati! Well, it's a missed chance. I wonder what happened here. As Lewandowski looked like he was about to pull the trigger. Just a late challenge there. I wonder if the referees missed that one.
May have just a little bit, but for me, looking at those opportunities there, it's too many passes. There's such a thing of trying to pass the ball into the net. You have to take a strike at some point. You can't just leave it. You have to go for it.
Fati to de Jong, Dembele. On the hour mark, dispossessed. Arda starting to build from midfield, but dispossessed by Christensen, who's been a real rock at the back. Made several key tackles thus far. But De Palma still yet to break his duck in this competition. When will that change? Pedri cannot find Lewandowski cleanly enough. Come right back at Inter, though. They need to do a little bit better at maintaining possession. Otherwise, the Palma will carve you open. Fati, that's a waste.
It's almost like the Palma is second-guessing himself. When he gets into those positions, it's second-guessing what he's going to do.
Pedri to the feet of Lewandowski, and there it is! That cloud above his head suddenly starting to clear. Finally, for the Palma, he opens his account and equalises. It's 1-1 now.
I mean, he found the shoot button on his controller, thankfully, but he found it at the right time. Brilliant finish, and you could sense that was coming. You could sense that opportunity was going to be there. It's just whether he took it and grasped it, and as such he has with Robert Lewandowski. You saw the emotion there from both Etorito and Alex Alguacil. They will know the importance of confidence between players and between getting yourself into those moments. I would not be surprised if we see more goals now.
The duck is finally broken. The Palma is on the board in this game and this season. Now 15 in-game minutes for either side to try and find a winner. Dembele shrugs off one. De Jong waiting. Lovely 1-2. Will roll out for a corner.
Still chances to be had in this game. It is who will take the game by the proverbial scruff of the neck and will take it to victory.
Well, we've seen a lot of coaching, a lot of input from teammates thus far today. Seems like both men out there on a bit of an island. Etorito, not a bad man to have in your corner.
Yeah, I was going to say, we mentioned the same about Usman Kabir earlier on.
Yeah.
It's not a bad team by committee when you look at Barcelona's lineup.
Numero 20. Numero 10.
Full of encouragement are they?
Il numero 22.
Inter 1, Barça 1. Will that change before full time? Fati, De Jong now. Lewandowski continued his run. This will remain alive here for Barca. De Jong. Great defensive work by Arda. Lukaku. Look out for the runners. Mkhitaryan here. Lukaku waiting! And Arda is back in front in the most dramatic fashion.
What did I say? Romelu Lukaku. What did I say? It was that man who has brought Inter back into the game, and they're now, what, 7 minutes from victory?
7 vital minutes. What a finish. Stamped home in emphatic fashion.
Yeah, that falls into the category of that was hit and it stayed hit. I think if there would not been a net there, that would probably still be orbiting the earth today.
Well, the Palmer may have opened his account, but has very little time left to secure anything from this. 4th goal of the season from Arda, but hold on a second, as the Palmer has gone in with Dumfries there. The crowd wanted to see some action from the referee, bit of a 50-50 for me. What a dramatic end to this match day. And what could be a saving grace on Inter's season, Correa. Lukaku looks very lively. De Jong, Pedri, Dembele inside, goes for goal! It's the Palmer's 2nd of the season to equalise in the 90th minute and break the hearts of Inter. 2-2, and it might sound like not a very interesting scoreline, but it's a goal that actually sees Barcelona back on top of the table. They overtake Arsenal, and the Palmer has come alive finally.
Yeah, they just don't know when they're beat, do they? They just don't know how to say no in a game of eFootball. Brilliant finish, and again, you can see what it means to the team as a whole. And again, as we like to say in terms of body language and what we like to see from teams, we like to see teams celebrate as a unit, and that is on show in abundance with Barcelona.
Well, we might not be done yet as Dzeko continues his run.
Could be more goals. There could be another goal.
Really could. I was just thinking that. Those players really up for this. Could be an absolute showstopper. That's a fantastic ball. Correa, who can he find now? Just too close to Ter Stegen, and that will conclude, I do believe, as the referee's feeling a bit generous here, our match day number 3. The Palmer is on the board. 2-2 it ends, as Arda Galazo will feel so hard done by. I feel that should have been taken home a little bit more by way of points for his efforts here today.
Well, when you look at it and you look on the balance of it, that point for the Palmer, as much as you may look at it and go, well, it's 2 points dropped considering it got into the lead so late in the game, the reality of the situation is actually it's kind of a decider for them. It's put Barcelona at the top of the tree, and they are definitively up there, and they are the only team that are atop of the table.
They are on an island now, as you said, at the top of the table. 7 points from 9. A very, very strong showing. And Arda Golazo opened the scoring very early on. Looked like he might just be a glimmer of hope into season, but gave the ball away slightly too many times. De Palma was always going to have that class to try and capitalise. Did so, opened his accounts. And it looked like Arda might still take home the 3 points. Thanks to that 83rd minute Lukaku emphatic finish. And then Semra, still more drama.
I tell you what, De Palma loves a good draw, doesn't he?
Yeah.
At least there's some goals in this one, because he went from 2-0 to finally scoring 2 goals, even though he did finally concede as well, because up until today, I think he had the best defensive record on an individual level.
Yeah.
But at least, we could say that Arda Golazo was able to pick up a point, because he still remains the only player for Inter Milan to have actually put any points on the board. Well, we'll come back to that in just a moment. Wes is with Etorito, the man of the hour for Barcelona. Let's have a quick listen to what he has to say about FC Barcelona's performance today.
Thank you very much, Semra. I'm here, as you said, with Etorito from Barcelona. First off, congratulations on your performance today. Happy with taking away 7 points?
First of all, yes, we are happy because Inter have a great defense. They are one of the best teams because it's here, so we know that they are really strong. All the games was very close. Finally, we got 7 points, and we are top on the league, so we are happy.
Yeah, I was going to say that last point from the Palma, as much as it may have been 2 points dropped, it was a pretty vital point, puts you at top of the table. Again, getting back to that point, having started the day there, you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, yes, we are happy. The game of Saul was really, really hard and difficult. We know that Arda is one of the best players here, a new talent, new star, so he was really rapid. He was sometimes unlucky, us sometimes unlucky, so, you know.
It's how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. But we're happy for this, and just it.
And looking ahead to match day 4, of course, what are you expecting from match day 4?
Yeah, we are against Milan, our friends, Italian friends, at least for me. So it will be hard because they have a lot of points even. So we will try to train a lot again, and because the game will change even next week. So we will try to get maybe a new formation, who knows. But for the moment, we're happy for this, and let's see.
Fantastic. Well, great to hear from you. Guys, back to you.
Much Wes and Etorito. He clearly is looking forward to the next match day, as it has a little bit of a personal flair, a personal touch as he goes up against an Italian side. But Harry, you said it, he was cooking up quite a performance, but I tell you what, he whipped up a meal in the end, Etorito, with that 4-1 fabulous victory, the second biggest scoreline of the day. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the results across all the 4 matches. As we see, Arsenal have done it, and I say done it again because AC Milan did it on match day 1, but a collection of all 9 points. And second to that were Bayern Munich and Barcelona, again picking up massive amounts of points today.
Yeah, we always look for the barometer in this type of situation when we look back at a match day that's just happened. We look for that 4-point margin. So many of these clubs in this competition say if we're taking 4 points away from a match day, we're going to be pretty happy about things. So you look at Arsenal, of course, over the moon. That's the best case scenario for them. Monaco very happy. Bayern and Barcelona, as you said, also pretty darn happy because they've gotten 3 points over that 4-point sort of threshold. So very happy days for those clubs there. For everyone else, a lot of work to do.
Oh, definitely a lot of work to do. Speaking of which, we can take a look at the league table. Wes, going into the match day 4, the match 4, I should say. You were saying how you thought Barcelona were going to pick up at least 6 points. Well, they did so and managed 7. So there they go, back at the top of the lot, just where they were at the start of the day. 19 points on the board. They're followed by Arsenal, who have jumped up quite a few spots. 18 points there. In third, Bayern Munich started the day in 6th. Well, now they are in the top 3. AC Milan have dropped a few places. They're 4th with 13. And then both teams on 11, AS Monaco and Roma, but obviously nice to see the reigning champions finally creep their way into the top 6. Of course, it's very important because those are the teams that will go on to the knockout round later on this season. As for right now, very disappointing day for Manchester United, who had 0 points to add for today and to remain rock bottom, which is again where they were at the start of the day.
Yeah, difficult to see that because we know the players on Manchester United and Inter all have potential to be in that top 6 area. We expect them to be in the knockout stages of this type of competition, but I feel like I say that every single match day. We see a club drop down into the bottom 2 and it's like, oh, they're better than that, but then another team will replace them and then it's like, oh, you know, they also should be in the top 6.
But for Manchester United, it's not too bad. There's just 2 points, right? They're adrift only by a small margin of points there, but when it comes to Inter, 7 points away, so they really have a tough mountain to climb over the next few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned it kind of at the top of the show in terms of you might see some teams start to break away. You can kind of start to see that league start to split just a little bit now in terms of, you know, the top 3 you'd probably say are not going to be too far away come the end of the regular league. And you can see it's basically that bottom 6, or rather, bottom 5 teams that are going to be almost warring out for those 3 places. And as you said, Inter being cut adrift a little bit, they've got a lot of work to do, a lot of games and a lot of points they've got to catch up on.
Well, the fight is on. The challenge is very much on for so many of those teams, especially the Italian outfit there at the bottom. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the leading scorers chart because there's been a little bit of movement for today. But in terms of the top 2, as Mekabeel and Roxa, they actually keep their places in the top 2, but they've added more points, as Mekabeel being the first player to breach double digits. Etorito has found himself back in the top 3 after that 4-1 stunning victory for him, and Dominator has dropped out. 8 goals so far, but there are 2 new names to add to the list in Cams as well as Naples. 6 goals for them in total. Of course, everybody else from the bottom 5 there have the same amount of goals too. But it's nice to see some other players jumping up here in the list.
Yeah, absolutely is. Of course, when we look at the top 3 star-studded names, I mean, we expect them to be up there. But also, when you look at it, you have all 3 of AC Milan up there. They're all chipping into their club's campaign, although haven't really been able to pick up as many points as they wanted to. At least they're, you know, finding their goal-scoring boots thus far this season. And also credit to Merriman, considering where Inter are in the league position at the moment. He himself is trying his best, but he's just getting so unfortunate in some of these last minute losses.
Yeah, I was going to say it's back-to-back match days where he's lost with the last kick of the game. It's soul-destroying when that happens to you as a player. It really is.
Clearly it's down to a lack of concentration or a moment where he just loses focus, but it's definitely something that he needs to work on going into the next round of action. Well, here we have the top 3 performers of the day. Ostribuch, we thought it would be nice to include him in this list, considering that going into this one he had 0 wins and 0 goals, and now he was able to bring the goods for today against his former side. What a time to do that. Then we have Uzmekabel, as we saw already, at the top of the goal scoring chart as well, 10 goals so far. Also impressive considering where Monaco are in the table. He's pulling the cart there a bit. And Etorito, again, with another performance, outstanding performance, 4 goals, doing as he often does. These are heavy hitters, at least Uzmekabel and Etorito. No real surprise to see how well they've done today, Wes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, mark one down for your calendars, and I will pray to the football gods now. When it is Monaco versus Barcelona, please give me Etorito versus Uzmekabel.
They are listening. They are listening.
Please, because I tell you what, that will just be one for the ages. You mark that down in your calendars. But yeah, it's great to see Ostribuch finally on the mark as well.
All right, excellent stuff then. Well, we obviously have a lot to look ahead to, so we just want to give you a quick reminder of the calendar for the remainder of the competition. So, well, actually, we're going to start with match day 4. Never mind, my apologies. So you have AS Roma going to be against Manchester United. Manchester United will start first once again, just like they did today. Then it's AS Monaco trying to recoup some ground against Arsenal, who have come out swinging today. Heavy hitters they are indeed. Barcelona, the league leaders at present, against AC Milan, against the former league leaders at one stage. And Inter Milan, as we said, looking to make up some very big distance then against Bayern Munich, who were very formidable in their performances for today. What do you guys make of this next round of action?
I think it's going to be a real test of Arsenal's title challenge, so to speak. When you look at Uzmekabel, where he finds himself in the league and his club in the league, he's going to want those points, and he knows he has to beat the best to be the best. So I'm fully looking forward to seeing Monaco, Arsenal, and honestly all of these games at this point, because of how tight that and compact the league table is at the moment. This really could flip the league on its head at any given moment.
And I think we are starting to identify certain clubs as favourites, given, for example, Arsenal, Barcelona, Bayern. I don't know if I'm missing anybody else. They were all undefeated for today. So we are at least having a nice collection of clubs that we can really say, you know what, it's going to be a tight challenge for the title, isn't it?
Yeah, and those three that you earmarked, they've certainly have now found their better form. You know, we thought maybe with Arsenal from last match day, oh, was it hit and miss? Was it just a little bit of luck? No, they've came through today and they've got maximum points. Like Barcelona have continued good form. Bayern Munich are now starting to find their feet again after a disappointing match day 2. So we're starting to see runners and riders, as it were, and those three that you earmarked, yeah, absolutely, they're the ones to watch in this point in time.
All right, guys, well, this is the time of the day where we say goodbye. Just want to see if there's anything else you would like to say, any final thoughts before we leave?
That was a match day that did not disappoint. I said at the start, I want to see goals.
Wait a minute, you sound like a broken record there, mate. You say that every time.
It never disappoints, this competition. There's always action, so looking forward to match day 4. Do not miss it.
I love it. You?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it had goals, it had drama, it had chances, it had absolutely everything. And yeah, we get to do it all again on match day 4. It's going to be great.
It had more of Wizard screams as well during the goal-scoring celebration.
Still echoing around this building, I'm sure.
Yes, it is. Well, guys, we'll see you very soon indeed. Remember that the next match day will be on April 8th, so 3 weeks from now. It will be on Saturday. We'll start at the same time, 1 p.m. Central European time. In the meantime, stay up on the latest news across all of our social media platforms, as well as YouTube right here. So make sure that you save the date. We'll see you here, same place, same time in just a few weeks' time. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed today's competition. There's still plenty more to get excited about in the weeks coming up. We'll see you next time. Adios.